Good evening. After much trials and tribulations, I am now proud to present to you guys the A8S Healing Guide. As was noted with anything I make and produce for everything here, these are all in my own opinions, and any strategies that we use are strategies that my group at the time found works best for us. Your groups may not find that this works for you, or you guys might choose to go with a different strategy. That being said, let's get in here. So going into this fight, I progged A5 through 7 on White Mage, cleared on White Mage. I progged A8S strictly on Astro and cleared on Astro. And I will have to say that that is a decision I do not regret. While probably the biggest thing that you're missing from White Mage on this fight is your Cure 3, which is immensely useful. I do feel like the Astral's toolkit is a bit better suited for this fight overall, and there's zero reason why not to take an Astro in this fight. So, opening up into here, very simple. You can put your starting regen on whichever tank is pulling, and after that you can straight DPS for a very long time. I open up with my dots, and then I throw my Malefic 2s out. Typically, with your timing there, you might be able to get a slide cast in on that puddle. Normally I would try, but the Pearl previous to this, I got cocky and died, so I was playing it safe. Now right here, we had our healers stack in the middle, so that way when Onslaught turns around with Mega Beam, puddles, move, you're trying to bait the Mega Beams in the middle, so the DPS and the outskirts don't have to move. Now notice here, I still have not cast a single heal since the beginning here, and that was a regen on our main tank here. This is the first heal I'm casting. Everybody's come back in. I throw up an AoE regen, a Helios, heal up the tank. Let the dots tick down a little bit more. I'll throw up another Helios right here. Something that if you're playing Astro, as you see, I'm just sitting on a balance spread right now. Depending on your group, you're not going to need that DPS here. Because everybody's going to be splitting out, it's a bit of a waste of a card. So going back into this point, about right here on Discoid, I use Disable, then I pop Collective. My Scholar deploys. That just removes the one stack from everybody. And then from there, the DPS run around like chickens with their heads cut off, eating orbs. I'll throw a regen on each of the DPS that takes it, that has more than one stack. And then that's it. My Scholar eats her fairy, or used to eat her fairy right here. But I found that for the main tank, or the tank at the time, when he pops Living Dead, 2 Benefic 2s, as long as he has a regen on him, he will go into that, and then I just use my insta heal, and he's healed up. Alright, coming in this next phase, I use my regens, and then put my dots up, throw out a couple Malefic 2s. Then for the first phase change right here on the robot, that's when I pop Sinistry. Use this time to throw up another regen on either one of the tanks. Or on both of them. You have your heights. Waste your bowl. Really, your cards are here, whatever you can make use of. I threw a bowl out. There's going to be some group damage coming out. I like to pop Collective right here, just to get an extra regen tick on the tank. Typically, I was healing the tank that had the 2 of them, while the Scholar was focusing our Dark Knight, which had just had Blaster. So, or not Blaster, Brawler. Something here we can do that I didn't do in this phase is you can use Disable on that first orb that's hitting. Kind of mitigates some of the damage coming out. Then as the second orb is hitting, my Dark Knight is eating orbs, and we have big group damage coming out. So I will pop Light Speed. That helps keep him topped up, keep everybody else topped up. Our Scholar's doing the baiting, so sometimes she has to move away from the group, which can make for a sticky situation. Now, throughout this entire part, you do have your heights going on, you have your mechanics, you have to pay attention. If you're running on a PC and you're using ACT, which if you are running on a PC, you should be using ACT. There's a ton of custom triggers, I highly suggest them. Okay, so coming into here, he evokes Swindler, I throw Sinistry up again. So Swindler pushes into Bioarithmetics, Aspected Helios. We're going to throw another Benefic. Alright, after Vortex was his pushback, the rest of the group is fine with the hots on them. That's it. The only person I'll put a hot on is whoever has the lightning debuff. From this point on, the Scholar pops Clerics, and I'm slowly healing for the rest of this phase. Not much damage going out. Big thing, just keep your regens up. That makes this part so much easier. Something that I will note, that in the robots phase, an absolutely huge help, is at some point, because you still shouldn't be too pressed for DPS. So if you're able to get a Euro card on yourself, do it. You're not losing out on too much for it, and it's gonna make you go on this next phase a lot more prepared. So right now I have a balance spread up. I pop Collective right here. When you're gonna pop Collective right here, make sure you do it early. Don't try and wait for that last second before he hits. This is because the next time you're gonna want to use it on the first J kick or second J kick. If you pop it too late here, it's not going to be up there. It's going to last plenty of time. Pop it, everybody can get healed up. Notice there's no other heals on anybody here except for this. Alright, I just did the balance spread, regen on the main tank, mana, collective, and I put my dots up. Now when you put your dots up, you can put disable, like you can do arrow, malefic, and then disable. And you follow that up with do a couple combusts. Regens. I'm going to apologize right now. I'm making this video just after we cleared it, so I'm still a little bit on that hype train. Alright, so let's come back in through here. I kind of did a lot of stuff going into this phase. So let's count it down. Regen on the tank, balance spread, dots, mana, combust 2, malefic 2. I extended everything. So with that, I was able to extend my mana, extend dots, or hots. We're going to come back in here again. Alright, so right when he's casting Punch, you drop Clerics, insta-heal, and then you put up an AoE regen. Then whoever has Prey, throw up a single target regen on them. It's going to help with survivability a lot. They tend to get hit pretty hard, and they're not always going to be within range. Our Dragoon, He tries to do this little fancy little puddle jump thing. It doesn't always work out for him. Alright, so next phase, I pop Sinistry as early as, or the next rotation, I pop Sinistry early. This get the heals up, AoE regens up, praise, rotate, heal. Now, so as each of these tiers goes on, stuff progressively hits harder and harder. So the first one, I don't use Sinistry. The second one, I use Sinistry. Alright. This is jump after this. Jump on Keist. He's moving into the corner. I disable. And I immediately pop collective. This gives us some mitigation, puts another regen on. I cast an aspect of Helios. And then everybody spreads out where they need to be spread. Now here I pop Lightspeed. And just I love Lightspeed right here because I can just move and heal. I look for where my chakrams are. I will say that these chakrams gave me a little bit more trouble than they should have, because at this point you're trying to heal your entire group up, you're moving around. It can be a little bit frustrating sometimes. I'm low on mana because I raised a Dragoon from earlier. It wouldn't be a good clear if we didn't have an LO Dragoon death though, right? But I was fortunate enough to draw a Ewer on top of my Luminous. So I put an enhanced Ewer plus my mana, extended both of them. I'm Gucci on my mana now. Alright, double Rocket Punch. Now because I popped Sinistry so earlier, now I have it back up for right here already. Helios, Scholar deploys. That's how hard this is going to be hitting right here. The amount of damage going out is this the same. Now, your group should be pushing after this. Apocalyptic Ray. At this point, I'm kind of just waiting. Alright, they're going to get the one tank buster. I tried to use Disable, it didn't go off. Alright, we're going to use Collective. Okay. Now we use the tank LB strat. Really, there's zero reason not to use tank LB strat unless you're going for a speed kill. It makes learning this phase so much easier, cleans it up quite a bit. Can you get through without it? Yes. That's something we're probably going to attempt later on? Yes, but as you're learning this fight, and even if you're just going in for a weekly clear, you just want to make sure you get it super safely in, use the tank LB. Alright, Mirage Tethers. I'm a baddie, I got hit. Alright, we have Enumeration and Flash. Alright, now we are into Gavel. I'm not going to go too much into Gavel from the mechanics side of it. Zeno's guide, he goes really well into it. He talks very in depth, and he has pictures that are colored. I will say, from the healer aspect, you're either going to have a 2 or you're going to have a 1. If you have the 2, you run into a tornado, you're done. If you have the 1, you eat an orb, just one, and then you go to the opposing 2 orbs and you wait for the DPS that we're eating in there right there. Some things to watch out. They do have a dot on them from killing the Nisi orbs. So as you're getting ready to eat orbs with them, you're going to want to watch them. You're going to want to make sure they are full on health and that you are full on health. These orbs hit hard, a lot harder than the ones in the first phase do. As you see, I am just now putting regens on everybody. they're going getting ready to go eat the orb. See, she just ate an orb. Alright, Gavel's done. Throw our regen up, start topping everybody up for this next part. Going, going, going. You have plenty of time. Normally I would pop collective there, but I got put a bit behind on my healing, so collective did not get popped. Alright, we do the sack strat, which I haven't seen a single video of people not doing the sack strat. Overall, it's going to be more effective for your DPS. Alright, if you're playing Astro Scholar, what we found best, if you're having a Dark Knight, do Living Dead. Final Punch. He has a regen on him. Sinistry fell off because you're not really worried about Sinistry. I do one Benefic 2. I watch the time, then right after Mega Beam, insta heal, and I call it out at the same time, so Scholar does a Luster at the same right there as well. Now, right here, you might be looking, you're like, holy shit, everybody's low on health. There's no damage coming out for a little bit. You have time to heal. Typically, for this enumeration, it's going to be tanks and healers. Tanks are 1 and 2. You can decide between you and your opposing healer who's going to be 3 and 4. But as you see, everybody's so low. You have time. Take a breath, breathe, get to where you need to be. Your main tank should be moving the boss to a safe spot from the chakrams. And then heal everybody up there once you're there. You have so much time. You're good. Alright, we have super jump. Coming from here, you're going to want to refresh your AoE regen. Now for the second part, our warrior is going to Voke and home gang the Mega Beam. Now this is a bit of a mana sink. We had to have our bard start playing Ballad at this part. As you see, there's so much damage. You have 6 waves of this coming down, short needles. Pop collective, disable. He comes in like a wrecking ball. Now we were at 37% when he landed. From what I've seen, you want to be about 40%, but don't quote me on that. I'm just a healer. And from here, I had light speed up, and I have Sinistry up still. Your earlier waves, you just have your Helios, no big deal. Make sure you, when your Aspect Helios falls off, put that back up there. Alright, Sinistry is used. So when you use your second Aspect of Helios, you do a Sinistry one, because that's going to be carrying over. Alright, light speed's popped. Now I'm healing for all I have worth. Going. LB3 does about 6% damage. We're going, you're going. Like, this is just a heal. It's all you have to do is heal. Watch your mana and just heal.
Yes! Yes!
And the fight is dead. Thank you all for watching. Hope this was somewhat enlightening. At some point in the future, I'll use actual video editing software and make myself not sound so stupid. But, thank you.